Welcome in, friends. It's me, Halfd0rk. Hi there. Welcome. So today, just to give you an idea of what we're going over, we're going to be making some trading card game assets in VoxEdit. So if you've been following my series here on the SandStorm stream Meetup, so I believe it's the SandStorm Meetup is the Twitch channel, which you can also watch it on the website, which I found out recently. So if you're on the main SandStorm website, you can actually watch it live. They're really bulking up their stuff at Sandstorm. And then, of course, you can watch these VODs over on YouTube. That's where they're starting to point people for, like a learning lesson. Speaking of learning lessons, feel free to ask questions while I'm live here on... Oh, getting some feedback. Yeah, I'm actually coming through the Sandstorm site right now. So if you're looking for the Sandstorm site, there it is in chat. Please ask your questions if you've got them. No matter what, I will try to help you. This is a live kind of like seminar almost, so where I am troubleshooting things, I'm also creating, and I am more than happy to take those tangents and side quests, if you will, to explore what you're troubling, and what obstacles are in your path as a game developer. So for me personally, making a game like a trading card game, I have to make custom assets. Well, for one, in the Sandbox, there's no trading card game assets. So that's bringing us to today's lesson, or I guess experiments, where we're building cards in VoxEdit. But before we get into that, I do want to go over their recent, or I guess recently announced contest that Sandstorm's putting up. And it is the subject of food monsters. What? So, food monsters is the theme that we're going to be playing with. Here, I'm trying to hide some of the random crap on screen. Boink. So, food monsters. VoxEdit contest number 18. Total budget 5,000 USD. USDC, by the way. So it's not sand. That's 5,000 grand US dollars. Where the current theme is monstrosity delicious. The little quip here is, I'm not sure if that noise is from my stomach or if my food itself is growling. Woot! My sandwich is alive and it's biting my hand. Help! Create a simultaneously horrifying and delicious monster. Yep, that's your mission now, builders. Time to surprise us. So the challenge, we as builders must create a scary monster made of your favorite food. Rawr. The deadline's going to be November 11th. So we still have about a week before the deadline hits. 23 UTC, that's basically midnight European time. So that's 8 p.m. for Eastern Standard Time. And, we do get the hour knockback, so I think it'll still be 8 p.m., but just keep in mind, those of you here in the United States, Daylight Savings Time is November 6th, if I believe. But yeah, check out this forum. I'll go ahead and drop that link in chat, those of you that want to learn more about it. That's the current contest hosted by Sandstorm to make some monstrous food. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But welcome in, friends. I see we got Slaterade. How's it going, Slaterade? Vivox, welcome. Roxy Miguel, buenos dias. Cynthia, hello. How are you? Welcome. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into my rhythm of building assets in VoxEdit. And where I usually start is either Magicavoxel or, in this case, I have an image on screen. I'm using the software called PureRef. So if you are interested in having an image overlaid on your screen while you're still working in whatever program, you can have this on Photoshop, VoxEdit, Magicavoxel. I highly recommend it. It's free. It's called PureRef. And it's to place image reference images on top of your screen. So no matter where you're clicking on the screen, it'll stay on top. You'll notice it's very handy when you're basically transitioning a thought into VoxEdit and voxels. So I'll drop that link here in chat. So if you're interested, very handy tool. You'll see me using it in today's stream. So the first thing I'm going to start on is trying to make a card back. So I'm not going to need this card or this asset here. So we're going to go into my card shape. So I already made this rectangle. We can see it's 2 voxels wide. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint the front of it. And so now I can go back into my skeleton here, the hierarchy, and I'll know that this is the front and this is the back. So I'm going to be working exclusively on the black side, the card back side. And I'll make a backup here. This will be V0. Sometimes it's good to have that backup if you need it for future reference. So let's go into our card again. And I'm going to use this reference image here on the top left. And I'm going to try and create one of these. I like the diamond pattern. I think that might be easy to make. We'll see how the edges look. But I'm going to use the mirror tools here in VoxEdit. And I'm going to try not to use Magic Voxel for this first attempt. So the first thing I'll do is I'll just turn on all my mirroring. And we'll pick a very contrasted color, one that I'll be able to see easier. And I'll start painting. One thing I could also do, and I'm going to attempt it, you know, almost like an experiment here, because I try to add shortcuts as I learn them. So here's what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to make a version of our front here. So we're going to paint an entire block here gray. And this is a new layer. So we can see I have it over top my old layer. And so now I should still be able to see this one. You can see my main layer is hidden underneath it. So I'm going to turn off the mirroring. I know why. I'm going to remove that. Now I should be able to see it. So main, we're going to put down here underneath my new layer. The new layer, I just want to work on top of this. We'll take back to the line tool, we'll pick our red color, and now we'll start painting. So I'm painting on a new layer, and I can even rename this. We'll call it the design. Now, while I'm painting, it's not going to destroy the bottom layer, our main, card back. So now let's try to make those diamond shapes. And I'll use the draw tool for this one. Because again, I'm making a new layer, and I've made the back, the gray side. But now I'm making whatever design I fancy, and I can even go back one or two if I have to. Go. I'll make like a border. Yo, what's up, friends? The secret word, spoin. Vox Ediator, how's it going? Welcome. And I know some of you here in chat are much more accomplished at VoxEdit than I. So if you have suggestions or tips, for those of us still learning, like myself, feel free to let us know. So I made a little boo-boo here. It's not really symmetrical. So I want it to be symmetrical, so I'm going to paint over it and restart. I'll even use the eraser tool. That's probably more efficient. And we'll try again with the red. Might have to turn off the mirroring, but we'll see. So with that design, I can take like a trim off of each one of these. And then we'll try another red inside of it. We'll see where we can go with this. We're not committing to any one design. We're just seeing what we can create. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Yo, 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 what's up? King Crypto's in the house. Romario Raven, welcome. Mr. Furious X. Fredford, Wicked YouTube. Welcome, friends. Halfd0rk. How you doing? Let's do one more. Then a dot in the middle, right? Boink. It kind of looks evil. We should add some rainbows, make it less evil. Sometimes rainbows make things more evil. But what I can do is I can duplicate this design. And then I can save it. This is usually how I work, and it's how I've worked in my past career when I was a video editor. I constantly make saved versions that I can go back to if I have to. So now I'm going to paint or try to remove that back layer. I'm assuming the best way to remove it would be to make a big version here. All right, I'm trying to come up with new shortcuts, really. So I'm going to fill this space. And we can see my other two are still hidden. What? That actually worked? My thing worked? So there's the original card. Here's the new card. And so we're working from this new card. And it filled the spaces. It didn't color the back end. So I'm going to turn off this. And then I'm going to, using the rectangle tool, attempt to only paint the back. I don't think that's going to work very well, though. But let's try it anyway. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, it's something. It's something. You know what kind of tip I would give? Hey, if you guys know, you know. You are amazing. Oh, thanks, King. Right back at you. So, yeah, the other option is to use one of these tools. However, we got to keep in mind, I'm still coloring both sides. Turned off the mirroring, so that's why I'm trying to cheat it with this. I could probably cheat like one side at a time. Here we go. Now we're talking. Of course, I can use the line tool. If anybody has suggestions for a card back, like if you want, we can even bring this into Magic of Voxel. We can get Magic of Voxel involved. There's our first card back, so I'm going to save this. And then I'm going to duplicate it. So the card back B2. We'll hop back into it. And so with this, we can take a look at our other designs. We'll try and recreate another one. So going back to my pure ref image, I'm gonna try and create this one. Some cool curves. So the first thing I'll do, I'm going to add a layer of gray. We'll do 2 layers of gray. Then this time, I think I can prevent me drawing on the wrong side. I just simply turn off the Z mirroring. So now, we'll try and make this new card. Yeah, if anybody has questions, about how to get started even, feel free to ask. This is an open forum. Everything we're doing here is, to help improve the community. Sandstorm's got your back. So I want to make some curves here. So if I take it slow, I might be able to design something. Maybe we'll go for like a nice thicker curve here. Curvaceous. Something. Box tool's your friend. Box tool might help me. But I'll deny its help for now. I'm trying to make my own custom shape here. So let's do another couple curves. That looks too angular. Here. But after we decide on our card back, I'm going to be, well, actually probably make a third card back. But after we've made that, I'm going to head over into Magic of Voxel and I'm going to import some PNGs. So with game development, I've purchased bundles, not only recently, but in the past, that come with assets that are designed for making games. As long as you're not trying to resell them, if you can find a way to use them, you know, that's fair game. That's fair dinkum, as the Australians say. The Australians in chat? That's such a weird thing to ask. I like this shape. It almost feels evil. It's reminding me of insects, which is kind of fitting for my game, too. Sacred geometry. When you were deleting, oh, I see. Vvox, I'm bad. I am bad. Tech question says, GWiz, can we ever expect to mint assets with NFTs embedded in them in any way? A photo frame with the NFT embedded. I mean, there's workarounds for it. I think that's a good question, G. I would say making a frame is your best bet. So you make like the cool portrait frame with the beveled edges, you know, with a gold, let's just say presentable, much like royalty, you know, that type of frame. And then when you're selling it, that could even be in the description. It could have like a hyperlink or a short URL that goes directly to your PNG. So you could promote it that way. And then it could also have that multifaceted use of like, oh, you can use this for your own art as well. But you're kind of like subtly shouting out your own work. That's just to get it on the Sandbox marketplace. If you have it on OpenSea, you can already put it in any frame too. Cool. I like this as is. Like some diamonds in it though. How to diamond? Cool. Let's go ahead and save it. This top design I can delete because this is version 2. And then I'm going to, I think, duplicate it so we have a backup. And then in this version, we'll start painting a little bit more. So it's going to be green. We might use some like darker greens here. So like all of your enemies might have a different color, like card that you're fighting. Reminds me of like the African flag. He's more yellow. Cool. Like it. This is for a card game. Yes, Fox Eddie Tour. It is. More or less, our card game series has been on Mondays at this time, but today I'm covering for one of our partners. This is going to be our card back V3. I'll go ahead and paint this one a little bit more flame-like. So we're going to have like 3 different deck colors to choose from, and based on your starting character as well. What does a fireball look like if we turn off the symmetry for this part? Cool. Hey, Jazz Wolf, what's happening? Welcome in. I like it. Cool. So we got 2 cards now. This one I need to flip around. I'm going to save it before I do that. This will be card back V2 back up. Usually when I've moved into the publishing phase where I'm able to put it in my game, I'll resave this entire asset project as a new project. So TCG cardback _ V2, and then I'll delete a lot of the backups. But I use backups while I'm working. A lot of times I'll revisit them. So they're very handy. So for this, I'm going to hide everything except the main and this original design. So we can see here I have the black back and the gray front. So I want the green on the back. So I want to flip this. So we do the Z flip. And then I can actually remove that front gray. So now my card back with the border is there. Save it. I can see here it's got a gray border. Instead, I'm going to make it white to make it more uniform. It's going to be in this layer. We'll save it. And then I can merge these designs down because I don't need to revisit them. This one I can delete. Merge these two. Cool. And then with our third one, we want the same thing. So we're going to delete the middle one, turn back on the base layer. I'll remove the front to this one, and then we'll add that white color as the final border. Although the black does look better, the white helps it stick out a little bit more. So I'm going to turn that white. We're just going to do the outside border here. Save it. Cool, so now we got two cards. This one has the green layer in front of it. So a lot of times this is where my OCD kicks in. So now I just gotta fill that space. For this one, all of those colors. So what I'll do is I'll just take this red, we'll fill this one, and then take the red border color and fill the black. And we'll save it. Cool. So now I got a green and a red card back. It's pretty much all we really need to move ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and skip making a third one, because now we just have like an ally deck and an enemy deck. So that'll be fine for our uses. So now I'm going to hop into a different card back, and I'm going to be making card icons. So as I previously mentioned with Magic of Voxel, you can take a PNG and you can import it into Magic of Voxel, and that allows you to voxelize it to then import it into VoxEdit. So Magic of Voxel is one of those tools that becomes almost essential in VoxEdit because it's so useful. Let's get Magic of Voxel open. And for now, I'll turn off my pure ref, so we don't need that reference image. So now I'm going to find a skill icon from the pack that I purchased on Humble Bundle, which I highly recommend. Humble Bundle is a great resource. And I'm looking for 5 total fire skill icons. So we'll do this one. And so we can see they come out rather large. I could try and scale it here, but I'm basically going to import it as is and then scale it in VoxEdit anyway. But there should be an option to scale this, isn't there? I can rotate it. Rotating it would be helpful. Because it's going to be on a card. Looks cool. Thanks, V. Click tab to get into the model. Tab. And then the scale option, I'm guessing, is not geometry. Voxel mode. Geometry, voxel. Brush. I'm in brush. It's the face. This is where the backseat driving comes in. Under paste. Under paste on the right. Scale. Thank you, King Crypto. So I want to scale it down. We have to go into the 0.5. That do it? I think so. Right now it says 256 by 256. So I don't think it scaled it, but I'm going to save it and we'll see it in person. But if I were to type this in, 2.5 kind of deletes it. I think I had to maybe have one in here before I do that. Nope. Oh well, not for this particular use case. Maybe trim volumes, says King. Trim volumes. Maybe I had to select it first? Nope. Tool, fill, clear, trim, half. That's the what I was looking for right there. Half did it. So now it's still within that 256 space, but I can trim that. Now where's the trim option? Modify, shape, diagonal, mirror, repeat, rotate, shear, loop, flip, rotate, cut, inverse, none, fill, full, clear. You know what? This works for me. So I'm going to save it and put it in my imports folder. Then I'm going to bring that into VoxEdit. So it's going to be our icons, paste. I'll go ahead and hide this so you can see what I'm doing. We're now going into Magic of Voxel's counterpart in VoxEdit. So I'm going to import the new Vox that I just saved. Let it do its work. It's the top right, the crop. Okay, thanks guys. We'll do it for the next one. The four corners button, perfect. But I'm bringing this one into VoxEdit. It's taking its sweet time. So we can find that new item. We can see it's 128 by 128. We can see the pivot point stayed the same. So it did crop it automatically for us. So that's nice. So I didn't have to trim the volume myself. We'll go ahead and save it. And then I've already placed the skeletal hierarchy, the icon itself. But I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process. So if I were to have a new node, so we'll create a child node. This will be the icon face. And so on the icon face, which we're going to parent to our main card here, I would take that new icon. Notice it's way too large for our use, so I need to trim it twice then, so scale it down twice. Which I can also do in Magic of Voxel. So this will be we'll do fire 1. This looks like a seed, so we'll do fire 1 seed. I'm gonna start better organizing these. And I'll use the fire 1 seed that we just made. We'll turn it up. Like so. Kind of want it to be facing a certain way. Kind of like that. I like that look. And then we're going to add 1 to the Z-axis, and then we're going to have it. So now it fits on our card. We're going to keep the pivot point on the bottom. And now we can save it. So it's 64, 64, and 1 is what we were looking for our card here. And I'm going to go ahead and place this where we need it. I think we did like 33. Putting it right in the middle of our card. Cool. So now we rinse, repeat, and we're going to do that 4 more times. But this time, I'm going to do it right in Magic of Voxel. Let's delete all of our excess stuff. I'll turn on the view camera. So in Magic of Voxel, I'll drag and drop in a new icon. Let's get like a defensive fire ability. Yeah, this one looks fun. And then I'm going to flip it. So we're going to flip it on its rotational. And then I'm going to enter into it. I'm going to have it again. We're going to crop it, and we'll save it. So it's already cropped. It's at 64 by 64. We can now export it. I'm going to do icon 2. And I'm going to drag and drop that into my new folder. And then we go back into Vox Edit. And I'll import Vox icon 2. And this one took way less time to import. I do want to rename it. So we'll rename as Fire 2. This will be root. And all we need to do is flip it on its x-axis. And make sure our pivot point is set to center, set to floor. And just like that, we have another card art. Cool. Bop it, crop it, top it, scale it, flail it. And so we'll be making a couple more of these. And again, these are skill icons that I purchased, quite literally made for game development. And so as long as I'm not trying to resell these, I have every right to use them. So I'm not making these cards to sell. These are going to be cards that you play from your hand. So let's make another one. I'll drag and drop it into Magic of Voxel. And so with this new card, again, we're rotating it on the X. We're hitting Tab to enter into edit mode. We're going to shrink it by halve again, so at 64. We crop it. Whoops, I accidentally deleted a layer. We'll save it. So this is going to be our third icon. I'll then go back into Vox Edit and import it. In fact, while we're still in our Magic of Voxel, I'll just make the other two. Let's see here, we'll do swipe. This one looks cool. So we'll flip it. We'll go to edit, have it, crop it, save it. That's a new Vox Edit feature. You can drag the models directly on the model to replace in the work area. That's very handy, V. I'll try that. Thank you. So we've got our slash now. I'll delete it. I want to make a new one. Just trying to better understand a good workflow here. We can remove that. Excuse me. We'll do these. Rotate, edit, half, crop, and then we're saving. Yeah, so this will be the last one. And we're saving it. We're bringing it over. Pasting. And now back into Magic Voxel. I'm going to try what V had suggested. So I'm going to have my node selected, and I'm going to drag and drop. Let's see, drag and drop. Drag and drop's not working for a Vox file. Drag the models directly on the model. Oh, I think I know what you're saying, like this, which is still very handy. I think it's super handy. Yeah, cool. So we'll import the new ones that we've made. So 3, 4, and 5. So one thing I would do then, with that knowledge, is I would attempt to add that offset. I suppose it's easier just to do this here in Vox Edit, is adding the pivot point for me. Cool. Ooh, that's shiny. Two, 4. So because I've saved this is a backup, I can start deleting the other ones as well. So I'll flip it. One thing I could also do to save time is essentially work with this original here. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to unlink this one. I'm going to make a new child node. This will be icon face 2. And so now I'm basically going to work from the skeleton rather than work from the models themselves. So we'll flip this 90 degrees. We'll move it like 2 voxels in front. And just 1 voxel's fine. Back, if I really wanted to get minimalistic here, I'd probably go for like 0.1 or something. That's like the same effect. And now all I have to do is import them. So I can import the next one. And it's already good to go. Although they are upside down. So to fix that, I would probably rotate this 90 degrees, 180 degrees. So that automatically flips it for me. So yeah, these are the types of shortcuts I like to look for when I'm working. Go ahead and save. What else did we want to work on? So I made a little list. I want to make like an enemy turn notification, kind of like a graphic that pops up on screen. So what I'll do is I'll open up Photoshop. There was a Photoshop kind of a alternative I was using. I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, I have Photoshop. I use it for a lot of my projects. So I'm going to open up Photoshop. It's going to be window capture, Photoshop. Now you guys get to see all my secret projects. I'm trying to work with 3D models for a very unique use. Very unique. Right, where is it? Shop source. Oh no, where am I? Here it is. It's so hard to see sometimes. There we go. So with Photoshop, I'm going to color this so I don't lose it. I am going to make a new file. And this is going to be, I usually work from 1920 to 1080p. So that's, basic widescreen size. And I'm going to take out the text tool. And I'm going to do enemy turn. I'm also going to layer them on top of each other. We'll increase the, this is called the leading in the kerning. So this one I'll probably make a little bit bigger. So we'll do enemy turn like this. And I can also make variations. That's something I'm not limited by what I create. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's not showing you the correct Photoshop window. That's weird. Huh. Still? No. All right, well, I guess I'll show my display then. It's annoying. Sorry. Nope, that ain't it either. That ain't it either. Oh, it was this one. Technical difficulties. Beans? Oh yeah, Photopea. Thank you, V. That's the one I should have been using from the start. But I was just trying to show you guys the enemy turn that I was kind of working on. I'm basically making a font that I'm going to drag and drop into Magic of Voxel. So again, I'll just start from a different design. I'll keep this one in case I want to use it. But I'm going to take the text tool and we're going to do enemy turn. I'm going to center it. Doesn't matter how large it is at the moment, but for now, I will make it a bit bigger. Come on, text tool, please. We'll do 200 font size. I'm going to use a cool font. Let's use a cool font. Yeah, permanent marker. Ooh, that one actually looks cool. Enemy turn. And then I'm going to add a little bit of flair to it. So I can select my text, and then I can change like the shape of it. So I might do like an arc. Something like this. And then to add a little bit more flavor or color, I suppose. One thing to keep in mind is this will look very odd if it's got a shape in voxels. So I do have to be aware of that. So in that case, I'm actually going to remove that tilt I just gave it. And we'll just attempt this enemy turn, and then we can maybe customize it a little bit more. One thing I would do is maybe give it like a border. So I'm going to instead do color overlay and give it a stroke. So the stroke is the border. I'm going to make the border black. And we'll center it so it's on the inside and the outside. And then the color, I'm going to make white. Maybe make this a little bit larger. And so in game, I'll probably make the white with a glow. So then what I'll do now is I'll make a copy of this text. And then I'm going to rasterize it. And then I'm going to convert it into a smart object. So now when I double click it, it's the exact size of a PNG that I need. I'm going to save as a PNG. And then I'm going to bring it into Magic Voxel. So export as. Downloads. And then opening up Magic Voxel again. We're going to make a new project, delete this one, and go into my downloads. Drag and drop. Enemy turn. Nice. That actually looks pretty cool. I'm going to keep it like this. And then we'll go ahead and save it and re-export it. I don't need this shape. So we'll save enemy turn. We'll go back into Vox Edit. And we'll make a new asset now. This will be our TCG notifications. I'll probably make one for starting turn too if I like this one. I'm going to import a avatar for scale. So I'll go into my templates, avatar. This was already pre-made. I recommend everybody makes, about the same scale as this avatar. I should probably share this in case people want it. But we're going to import that new one that we just created, the enemy turn. And I'm going to drag and drop it. We'll flip her around. I got it. 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 Perfect. Enemy turn. There it is. Make sure the center is right there. And then we're going to give it a glow. The font actually turned out really well. I really like how that came. So I'm going to give it a glow so it'll really pop. Enemy turn. And then we could also try maybe like a yellow. White looks best, to be honest. We probably don't even need the glow. Make sure it's above ground, though. Delete this character. And then cool, we've got an enemy turn notification. I'll go ahead and make your turn as well. The same process. Put it up on screen. We select the text, select whatever word, do start turn, or no, we'll do your turn. And then going to rasterize the type, turn it into a smart object, and then save it as a PNG. Export PNG. Your turn. We now go into Magic Voxel. Delete this one. Downloads. Your turn. This time around, I'm actually going to flip it. I think this will read correctly back in Magic Voxel. So, or back in Vox Edit, I should say. So I'm gonna save it. Go to imports. This will be your turn. And back in Vox Edit, we'll do an import. Your turn. Perfect. So mirroring it in Magic Voxel translates it into Vox Edit weirdly. I guess because of the facing, because you're facing whatever direction this is. Does anybody know if this is like facing north or facing south? I imagine this is facing north, right? I don't suppose anybody would know that. I mean, with proper testing, you can probably get it. I think it's because of our, translator here. So we can see we have the arrow pointing this direction. So it's X, Y, Z. So So we're flipping on the z-axis. But yeah, just food for thought. We'll save this. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, probably going to start working on our resources or a fire animation. I think a resource is a good use of our time. So we'll exit out of this. I'll make a new asset. New asset will be TCG resource. And again, importing, a pre-set up template is always a good idea. So for example, the avatar template, so I can size things appropriately. But I'm gonna make a new VXM. This is gonna be our resource. Oh, this is gonna be V0. And we're gonna make, this is gonna be a lot smaller. Maybe like some crystals that rotate. So let's, first of all, we'll start from like a mirrored. We just want to get a generic shape first. It's an interesting shape. We'll just paint on it. One thing to keep in mind is having those open holes inside of an asset will impede game optimization. So you got to think the game itself is like computing every single face. So the less faces you have, the better. So I'm just filling some gaps where I see them. I'm not saying this is going to be the resource shape we go with, but I do want to make sure I have like a good idea of the size. So I'm kind of focused on the size at the moment. Let's save this. Give it a glow for fun. So this is technically, our starter resource here. A couple things to note. I want to set to center, set to floor. Then we'll probably crop it. Got 1,200 voxels in it. What about now? Now it has 838 faces. That small crystal. That's way too many. So that means we've got a lot of edges that we don't need. So I'm going to take out a new version. And work from that. So using this shape as my guide, I'm now going to essentially fill in the blanks. We will essentially just wipe this out completely, to be honest. So I've just essentially filled the entire space with more voxels. So now if I were to save it, exit, we'll see the faces drop dramatically. So that's 34 faces. But this is the size of the asset we're going to go with. I'm going to start chiseling away at it and make it more like a crystal. Just popped in. What's up, Oak6? How you doing? Which software do you use to easily create PNGs with transparent backgrounds? I recommend Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, because Photoshop is a paid software, Photopea is a free-to-use web browser version of Photoshop, made by people angry that Photoshop charges people way more than they can afford. So this is a free online photo editor. Let's go ahead and take a look at it, because I think this is a very important tool for making images. So I want to walk through the process. This being one of my, I've maybe used this a couple times because I have Photoshop, but we're going to make a new project. We're going to make something blank. I don't want any of these. I don't want any templates. So just give me a YouTube cover. Okay, so I just double clicked one on the left side of the screen. It has a lot of the same tools here. So I'm going to click the type tool. It's loading. So it's picked a font for me. I'm going to increase the font size. We'll go to the max. We'll say draw a card is what I'm going to text. Draw a card. So I could probably pick a different font. So we go up here at the top left. I want a really thick one. So it's loading. It is a streamable, I guess, service. So there's a little bit of a delay here. But it picked the font. It looks like it's loading it from Google Fonts, which is a big plus, actually. I'm going to select the character text tool. And I'm going to bold this. And then I want to capitalize it. So now all the letters are capitalized. Great. And so now, let's see if I can... Oh, I can do the same thing as I did in Photoshop. I can convert it to a smart object. So now double-clicking it, it takes up the entire width of my project. So I can now file. And I'm going to save as a PNG. So let's do share PNG. That puts it on Imager. So what about exporting? So I can export a layer. No layers to export. So I want to save it. So we could do save, export as. I don't know how I skimmed over this, but this is what we were looking for. Export as PNG. And it's draw a card. It's got pretty good export settings here. We'll save it. And I'll go into my downloads. We'll go back into Magic of Voxel. So we'll put that up on screen. And I'm going to drag and drop this one into Magic of Voxel. And we can see, yeah, using a free software, no problems. I was able to put this text into my game. You know, we follow the same settings, more or less same process. So I think that's a good note to end on. And yes, GIMP is another good one. If you want to download a software and not use it from your web browser, GIMP is a great choice. But Photopea gets my suggestion because it's basically you type in the website and you're starting to edit, and you can even save projects onto your computer. You can even save them as PSDs. I think GIMP can do the same thing, so it's worth noting. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll see if anybody else is currently live streaming in the Sandbox, and we'll send them a raid. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, Oak6, good luck. Feel free to ask any questions. Roxy says, which uses more resources, animation or faces? I would say animation, but you do want to keep your faces under 5,000 maximum. Recommended 1,000 because it'll be more optimized that way. Looks like Outer Studios is currently live, so we'll send a raid their way. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Have a fantastic weekend. If anybody likes Dungeons and Dragons, I'll be live streaming that on my main channel in about 2 hours. Error occurred. Well, might not be able to send the raid to Outer Studios, but do please go follow them, go check them out, hang out. Maybe Slater Raid could raid us if he's here. But have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I might actually be able to. 1 sec. But yeah, I'm going to put up the ending screen. Bye-bye, Toodles. Bye-bye. See ya. Okay, bye.